Hello everybody, thank you for coming back to my channel. My name is Gina and I'm going to start off with a simple landscaping drawing for watercolor. Anybody can do this. It's really quite simple. What I usually do when I start off my painting, I divide the paper in thirds and just so I can have a little bit of a guideline on where I want to put things. So right in the, I want to put the horizon. I think I want to put the horizon pretty high up. So I'm going to put the horizon right here. You should never have your horizon in the middle. It just leaves it a little bit more interest this way. And I think I'm going to have some mountains coming down right to the horizon, and then another one over here. Just want to go all the way down. Okay, and then you can erase in between. Hopefully you can see that. And then I want a little like stream of sorts to come around. Just follow it down. It does not need to be perfect, but the only thing is, and I don't even think I have it that thick, that everything, again, in the background is smaller than your foreground. Your foreground is always bigger. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to redo this line so it could look a little bit bigger, to have it go over to here. Okay, and then what do we do with the foreground? Well, I think I'm going to put some trees in there. So I think I want to have a set of trees right here, and I'm putting a line here so I can see where to put the bigger tree, medium-sized tree, and a smaller tree. Okay, and I'm gonna make it even on the other side. Maybe a couple over here, another line over here. Okay, you see how my composition's going so far? Where I would put the trees and the river and then my mountains. Okay, and I think I might even want, for a little bit more interest, I want a mountain here in the middle of these two. Okay, and have this one go behind this mountain, the river, or actually, you know what? It should go over here like this. Okay. And don't be afraid to experiment, and if you don't like something, erase it. This is the stage where you can do anything you want. I think I'm just going to have a hidden, yeah, I think so. Okay, this is the stage where you haven't started painting yet. You haven't committed to anything. You're just roughly sketching. And I'm always constantly erasing. If you erase too much, though, in some of your things, then it will become, you know, the paper can become a little bit loose, a little bit, you know, not able to hold the watercolor very well. You can see where you erased it a lot, etc. Okay, so I'm going to do the horizon first. I'm going to go right up here with my wash, and It doesn't matter if you go right into the lines or not. Feel free to just do it, you know. I'm not trying to be that careful, but I do want to have those mountains there, so I want to be able to have this wash looking pretty good. Okay, I got enough water back there, and I'm gonna change my brush. I'm going to a smaller brush so I can mix my paint, and I hope you can see the paint. I'm gonna go in, I think a blue. All you need is a tiny bit of blue. Always go smaller amounts, and then you could always increase from there. And I always wash my brush between each and every color. Like if I'm going to grab some of the white or another color to change its value. So think a little bit more of the blue, and then maybe some, and I don't always follow my own instruction. I always mix the paint up myself. So if you see me doing that, don't call me out on it. A little bit of the red. Red always makes a blue color pop. Even if see how that still looks blue? I would recommend not mixing it that well when you put the blue in, or the red in there. Okay? So here we go. We're going to put in the blue. And it looks so pretty. See, don't worry about all that. If it messes up, that in your eyes goes outside of the lines, don't even worry about it. And I want some down here, of course, by the horizon. And then a little bit more. And then I'm gonna mix another color. A lot of watercolorists, the problem with some stuff with their watercolors is that they don't use enough enough paint. They're scared to use a lot of paint, or they try not to mess things up, and they go softer and softer. Don't be ever scared. I mean, just go for it. It's only paint. It's only for you at the moment. If you saw my arsenal, you would see how many watercolors I have in there that I'm just not happy. I'm like, oh gosh, really? And use water. Okay, I think that's pretty. So I'm going to stop right there on the background. And you're like, wait a minute, it just looks like a bunch of dots bunched in there. Well, yeah, right now it does. But remember how I told you about the old towel? I mean, it's even bleached and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go right in there, and I'm just going to dip. I'm going to lighten the color in some areas, mix the colors, do whatever. I just like the textured part of the towel. I like that purple. I just think it's a little too strong for me. Okay? So far, oh, So far, so good. I think. Okay, now for my mountains. I like this color. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to use this brush. I like this color right here. What's going on over here, so I am just going to recreate it again. It needs more red. You could always adjust it. Remember, start with small amount and then continue. It needs more red. And you'll get used to what you need in your paint. If it needs more red tone, if it needs more a yellow tone, etc. I like this color. This is really pretty. I hope you can see that. Okay, so I got my color established. I'm going to go back with my wash brush. And ideally, the other part of the painting should be dry if you're going to paint next to it. The purposes of this tutorial and showing you guys what to do and how I do it. And I am not the kind of person who says that I'm a professional painter. I know everything about painting. Oh no. I am not like that. Not at all. But I hope you guys enjoy watching the process and what I go through, what I try to do, what I want to accomplish. And you'll even see me making mistakes. I made a mistake the other day when I was trying to do some flowers, and the painting, I spilled a whole bunch of paint all over it. And I was like, oh no, okay. There goes that painting. So there goes the wash down. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to go into my color that's a little bit darker tone than the background. Okay, I'm just going to go over the front of the sides of the mountain on the top. And it does not matter if you make a mistake or if you put it into the sky. Absolutely not. It does not matter. Okay, I'm just placing my color in. That's it. I'm not trying to be perfect, and I'm not trying to blend it with any other color right now. Okay, so all I'm doing is going down, trying to follow some of my lines. Trying to. Okay. And then I'm going to go right in and wash the color down and over. Okay, so far, I'm happy with this so far. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add a darker tone to this. A darker, so it could, let me see, what color should I add? So it could be a little tiny bit darker than it is now. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of blue, but I don't want to change the tone of this. I just want to enhance it, make it a tiny bit darker. And why do I want to do this? Well, it gives the illusion that there are other mountains in the foreground over here. and a slightly different color. And I just put the paint over the other paint. It's called wet on wet technique. And if you find it's too dark, you could always blot it. I really try to have some white more areas. I don't always succeed, but I do try to do that. And I think I'm going to go from right here. And this needs a little bit more water. So I'm just going to grab my wash brush and go right in. Okay, grab some more paint. And mountains are extremely irregular. So you don't have to be perfect at doing mountains, especially with trees. I love landscape painting because everything is not perfect, and I am not perfect myself. So I guess it's perfect. It's a perfect fit. And I think it looks too much like clouds, so all I'm going to do is grab some more. And I'm going to try to pull that color into the rest of the mountain. Okay. Nope, still looks too much like clouds to me. Let's go a little bit higher. There we go. Okay. And you see all this white area? That's what makes it interesting, and I think it looks pretty. You can barely see the line, but you can actually you can see it. You can see that there's another mountain there, overlapping the two. Okay, so what do we do with the background mountain? Well, I want it to be lighter in color than this one. And actually, I should have done that one first, to be all honest. But it's okay. Like I said, mistakes do happen. It's not really a big, huge mistake. You just lighten up your color and go on. Okay, I think it's light enough. I'm going to add some more water in the background. And notice how I'm not really being all that careful. Okay. See how it will go into the other mountain. So I'm going to start up here because I want that to be more crisp in the other area. Actually, I think I got a little bit too much water. But see, that's okay. I'll go back with my blotter and blot it. Okay, let me get some blotting action going. Okay, and then I just want to put a little bit more over there. And I'm okay with it being some of it white. Like I said, it's fine. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this color back down to here again, because I had messed up. Okay. And I actually really love all this fading over here. It's very pretty. And look at that water flow down. It looks very pretty. And this is called lifting. if you got a little bit too much water, a little bit too much color, you just lift it right up. Okay. Now I think I want to add a little bit of the same color into the clouded area. Okay, I just want to give the hint of some clouds. Not necessary following any kind of rules or anything, just going in, placing some paint, and then I'm going to go back and pounce so I can make those really cute, really cool textures. And you can see the layering going on. Okay. Still looks like an illusion, but this one looks like there's some clouds over here as well. Okay, so far. And then sometimes I clean up the edges right here, and sometimes it doesn't matter to me. Okay, let's do the river next. And always go from light to dark, always, when you're doing watercolor. And even, I think even acrylic. Well, acrylic you can do pretty much anything. Okay, I'm just, but if you want to do the layers with acrylic, you really should go from light to dark. I'm just adding a little bit more blue. I'm trying to make it more of a rich color. And then, there you go. That's a beautiful color. And you're like, well, you already used part of that in the clouds, in the mountains. The mountains are blue. Wait a minute, what? But that's okay. Actually, it's a little bit too dark. Like I said, it's fine. Just want to go down. Oh, I know why, duh. Would be nice if I actually put water on here. There we go. You could also do the dry technique. It doesn't need to have complete water all over your surface. I just like the way it looks at the end results. I love this bleeding. It's so pretty. Okay. Now time for her to put a little bit more paint in there. Right on down. And all I'm doing is following my line, because I can go back and shade it. Follow my line. You're like, I already know how to do that, Gina. Come on, show me something I don't know how to do. Well, I don't know what you guys know how to do, so I'm going to show you the simple stuff first. Yes, all I do all day long is just talk to myself. Hopefully later people are actually going to comment that I said something to them. But yeah, all I'm doing in the room is talking to myself and trying to paint. So myself is pretty boring at times, especially when I paint. I just like to sit back and relax and just do it, and kick the camera, of course. I'm going to come in here with this color just because I can. Oh, that looks so pretty. You know, I don't even like blue that much. I really don't. I don't wear it. Nothing. I always paint with it. It is crazy. For somebody who doesn't like blue all that much, I don't know why I paint with it. All I'm doing is pretty much, since I like this color a lot, I'm going over this other color, which makes this color itself darker. So having said that, if it's making it darker, I have to go back to this and make this darker as well. Oh, pretty. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now what do we do, Gina? Well, ideally, I would let this dry. I mean, I've gone a little bit overboard trying to do this, but I'm still doing the wet on wet. I just don't want any of this to bleed into the, any of the greens or yellows to bleed into the blue, but it's okay if it does, like I said. Just make it work. Like you have too much in the blues, make it into a bush or flowers hanging over. You know, yes, make it work, make whatever happens, make it work. Okay, so far we're at this stage, right? I'm going to make this painting very simple so you guys can actually do this for yourself. And like I said, I am not a professional. I do this a lot, but I do get things wrong. Okay, I'm just adding some yellow, which yellow and blue makes green. So I'm adding that to my existing blue color. And why is that? Well, usually you get the same tonal value on your paper. If you're using the same colors, they all flow together. It's not a bright green. It's a more of a relaxed painting, so that's why I'm doing this. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let me add this to my painting. And I don't recommend you ever mixing completely on your palette. It just looks more interesting if there's hints of yellow in something, or hints of blue in your purples. Yeah, all I'm doing is going on the side of this. And see how the blue is coming in? I knew that would happen, but that's okay. I want to do this as fast as I can, so we can get the whole thing the same value, the same colors. Okay, after I do this background, I'm going to let it dry so I can come back and do more detail to it. My sister and my mom was always saying, Gina, you're such a great artist. You should sell your art, or you should, do this. It's, yeah, Ma, do you realize how hard it is to sell something online, especially your own art, and plus I've had a couple of people, that actually bought for me. They love it, but then the people that don't buy from me, they absolutely hate your art. And I'm like, oh my gosh, just don't tell me if you like it or not. And as a person, you are you're putting yourself out there. And you get kind of nervous. I did a painting that I could have sworn people would love. You know, it was God hands, and I put lettering on it, and people loved it. But then there was two people out there that just, I guess they just didn't like religious items, or they just didn't like it, period. I don't know. I was very hurtful because it took me 8 months to finish this painting. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of green in the background. And get the same tonal value over here. You can use your big wash for the background stuff. You can, it doesn't matter, but I like to separate it. Grab a little bit more. Okay, at this stage is pretty much medium way through. I like to add a little bit more blue to the green mixture. And if I added too much, just add more yellow to just get a darker color. Okay, see how it's darker? And it's the same tone, same value. You just put a little bit darker so it can hint that it's closer to you. And I lit a little bit more water on here. Try not to get the whole thing. Okay, now I want a darker value. Put a little bit more blue in there. And a little bit more yellow. See, much darker. A lot. So pretty. I really do hope you like my videos and you like my destashes. I don't have much more to go, but that's okay. Hopefully you guys will tell your friends and subscribe. Thumbs up, you know, the whole 9 yards. And I really do hope you join me for the other videos about to come up, okay? Hopefully it won't be